Welcome. This is HR That Works President Don Finn. In roughly 5 minutes, I'm going to share with you a very powerful team building exercise. Now, one of my strengths is to be able to create exercise that are simple in application but profound in effect. This is an exercise that I've facilitated dozens of times, but you can certainly do too, because it's very basic and it's just a way for us to communicate well. So now in most organizations, including yours, there's probably what I call a rule of three. There's the person who's the breadwinner. It might be the lawyer, it might be the engineer, it might be the broker, the person who's out basically selling to the client or whose services are being sold, all right? So that's your breadwinner. And then there's the people who support the breadwinners, whether it's customer support or the account managers or the paralegal or the medical assistant. And then the third type of person is pretty much an administrative person, that everybody from the CFO, the COO, to the receptionist. So that's the kind of rule of three in most organizations. And we always want to start this process off with the breadwinner. So let's say it's an insurance brokerage, as I deal with a lot of them around the country. They basically have their salesperson, the broker. They have their support person, who's called the customer service rep or the account manager or somebody like that. And then, of course, you have the rest of your staff, everybody from HR, the CFO, to the administrative staff. So we start off with the brokers. When we go brokers, what are the most important things that you do every day? And you just want to list them. So make the plan, know the client's needs, know the different coverages, all of that type of stuff. So you're just going to list this stuff down. You're not going to weigh them or anything. Did we miss anything? Just keep adding it up. And first thing, as a business owner, if you're watching this, just that conversation is going to be a real eye-opener for you of how these people think. Then what you're going to want to do, now that you have the list, is you're going to rank it. So Six Sigma trainers, they love their little red dots, and you can go in these little like yard sale dots and rank them that way. Or you just simply stand up here, who thinks this is most important, raise your hand, and you go like this, two stripes for the most important, one for the second most important, and they'll get ranked. So now you have basically what's ranked is number 1, number 2, and this is number 3. And just now that you've got the ranking in place, maybe it's the role of leadership to say, it's interesting how you folks view stuff and how you view, I've learned from how you view stuff. I think that really this is number 1, and let me explain why. I think that this is not even in the top 3, let me explain why. This is a good place for you to have that communication if you haven't had it already. So this will be an eye-opener to begin with. Now let's assume we're finally settled in on the top 3 most important things. You can drill down to the top 5, but the top 3 is pretty much going to be the 80-20 of it. Then you go to the brokers. Okay, this is number 1. Let's say to create a great client experience or a great prospect experience. How can the account managers and how can the administrative staff help the broker to do job number 1 better? How can they help them to do job number 2 better and job number 3 better? And you have somebody capturing that, whether you're videotaping it like this or somebody's transcribing it, because you're going to turn it into process afterwards. You're going to use it for orientation purposes. You're going to use it when you get back to performance reviews and for other team building exercises. So now we've taken care of the brokers. Now you get the next group of people and say they're the account managers. Okay, and you do the same thing with the account managers. Now, when you ask the account manager what's the most important thing you do every day, here's the first thing that'll happen. Most of them will not be astute enough to say, my job, most important thing I do every day is to help the 3 most important things the broker's got to do every day. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the conversation. They're going to be thinking about their own little world. And they're going to rank this stuff, and you're going to have the conversation again with them. The broker's going to be there having a conversation with them. And then you simply ask, now that we got number 1, 2, and 3 squared away, how can the brokers help you to do this job better? How can the support staff help you do this job better? And the administrative staff. Then you're finally at the administrative staff, and let's say it's the receptionist and the director of first experiences. So how can you help the broker do job number 1 better? Well, how can the broker help you do job number 1 better, rather? Well, they can let me know who's coming that day. They can even email me a picture of him, so when he walks in, I can go, hi, Mr. Finn, glad to see you come to our agency today. I can put the name on the board, all that type of stuff. And this is how we learn from each other. I'll never forget, to finish up here, I was doing this with a pharmacy. And at the end of the pharmacy chain is the drivers. And I asked the drivers, what's the most important thing you do every day? Number one was to deliver the medicine to the right address. And I said, how can other people help you do that job better? They said they can start off by giving us the right address. Now I guarantee if you go through this exercise with your team, it will impact the way you play with each other significantly, because this is a conversation you haven't had. Hope those 5 minutes helped you. Take care. See you on the next one.